What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Mark Cassara here. I'm excited to bring you this video today. We're going to talk about 2024 year in review and all the crazy things that happened this year. But that being said, I'm going to need a little bit of your participation. When I go through month by month analysis of kind of a quick overview, we're not going to get in depth in each individual topic, but a quick overview of what has happened. I need you to chime in too. And let me know in the comments what I missed or what was meaningful to you that happened in and within our country. And if you're from another country, obviously chime in, let us know what happened in your country as well. This is going to be generally American news that took place from December 2023 or January 1st, 2024, all the way to December 2024, which we're in right now. It is the 27th of the month, just a few days away from the turning of another chapter. A couple questions for you while you're tuning in. Number one, let me know who you are in the chat and let me know what state you're representing or country. And then let me know what you're most excited about and you're looking forward to in 2025. We got a lot of things we're looking forward to. When you pay too close attention to the news, mainstream media, or to those negative voices around you, you can easily lose focus on where you want to go in the future. So it's easy to see gloom and doom and gray, okay? It takes a little bit of effort to see the brightness of the future, the goodness of what is to come. Maybe past experiences have put you in a place where you're just a little slanted, you're a little negative. But I want to encourage you in this stream as we're going through these different topics and different events that have happened over the year. I want you to kind of take a review last year, review this last year in your life. Take an inventory of all the things that happened, good, bad, and the ugly. I want you to accept the good and I want you to just forget the bad. Okay? It's hard to say. It's easier to say than it is to do, but I want you to accept the good because it made you stronger, who you are today, and just kind of push away the bad. There's a Bible scripture in the Bible, Paul talks about forgetting what's behind us and looking forward into what's in front of us. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and dive in. We're going to talk starting in January of 2024. A bunch of things took place in 2024. The stock market started out very strong in the beginning of the year. I don't know if you guys pay attention to the stock market, the ups and downs. I get notifications to my phone every day, and I'm seeing it go up. I'm seeing it go down. I'm seeing S&P, hits highest in, certain amount of months, certain amount. It's always going to happen like that. Okay. If you pay attention too closely to it, you'll have a roller coaster of emotions. Oh, I'm gaining, I'm losing, I'm gaining, I'm losing. It's like looking at your old 401k. You look at 401k, you open it up monthly, you're going to see it up, you're going to see it down, you're going to see it up. Sometimes it's better to just hold off till the end of the year and see what growth or what losses that took place inside that account. I'm not going to preach to you about insurance and annuities. You know that's what I stand for and that's what I believe in, but that's a whole nother live stream. But with that being said, January 2024, in the beginning of the year, stock market really rallied. The S&P rallied above 5,000 points, which hasn't happened. It's a pretty historical moment that took place, pretty much driven by the tech sector, right? There's a couple of economists out there that are talking about how now the S&P or the S&P, but other indices as well, are propped up by just a few tech companies, AI-driven, tech-focused centric companies. That if you took those tech companies away, these major companies like Apple and Nvidia and Tesla, if you took them away, that we would be in a full-blown recession right now. Okay? It's a lot of smoke and mirrors out there when it comes to investments and the stock market. And overall, the consensus is that the stock market was never meant for you to win, the average person, Joe Schmo here. The stock market was never meant for you to win. But that being said, if you learn the rules of the game, you may win a few rounds and ultimately, hopefully do well in the market. Stock market rallied. Nvidia and Tesla led the gains back in January. This was due to their AI and EV optimism. There was a flat tax proposal that sparked a lot of debate. Okay, obviously we know Trump won the election. Love him, hate him, doesn't matter. He's going to be our president for the next few years. Trump administration had introduced a simplified tax system with a flat tax rate. Not to say that this is what's going to happen, but it was introduced in January. Heads started spinning. Took a lot of people by surprise. It excited people, but it also terrified people the same. Supporters argued that it will reduce bureaucratic red tape and encourage businesses to grow. Other critics claimed it disproportionately benefited just high income earners and that middle class, lower class America would suffer. Chime in. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your thoughts are about the flat tax proposal that the administration put forward in the beginning of the year. Okay. Number 3 for January, the AI revolution in retail really took off. 2024 was the year of being introduced to this whole new revolution of AI technology. Bots and ChatGPT, OpenAI, and Apple came out with their Apple Intelligence, and Google came out with, they changed the name several times, right? It was Bard and it was something else. Now I think it's Gemini, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure it's Gemini. So the AI revolution really skyrocketed starting in January, but it was just the tip of the iceberg. We've gotten to a whole different level playing ground now in December 2024. Major retailers like Walmart and Amazon have fully integrated into their system, into their online shopping system, AI-powered customer support and systems. Likewise, our legacy system builder that we have built from the ground up has introduced a new AI customer support option within our system. If you have people calling into your business phone number, and you don't have the funds to pay a receptionist 40 hours a week, or you don't have the time to pay somebody to do it, or you can't do it yourself, it's like $299 per month. You can have a 24/7 AI-powered conversation that answers questions, can send text messages or emails, and basically field questions and book appointments for you around the clock when you're not there. So AI is really taking off. I know that this is something we're going to heavily focus on in 2025. Our CRM, which is dedicated to small business owners and even in the financial services, but outside of that as well, AI is going to be the new, it's going to be the new boom. Okay. It's going to be the new boom. So with that being said, Walmart, Amazon adopted AI-powered customer support, chatbots, and automated kiosks, streamlined shopping, but also raised concerns about job loss. So people are thinking that AI is going to come in and boot people from their traditional jobs. Factory workers, we already know that. That's been a decade in the making. Factory workers, you do the same repetitive tasks over and over and over. They got bots that are slowly but surely creeping in to take over those manual labor jobs. So that's one of the concerns that's happening with AI and this artificial intelligence that's kind of taking over our lives right now. Soon, I believe, I'm in favor for it, but also there needs to be some precautions and some red tape. There needs to be pretty much some type of governance to make sure that bad actors don't do bad things with it, right? But I believe we're all going to have robots in the future. You may opt not to have that. So be it, to each his own. But I believe we're all going to have robots that are going to assist us in our daily, everyday life type of tasks. Maybe the laundry, maybe sweeping, mopping, cleaning around the kitchen, doing just repetitive tasks that we don't necessarily like to do. It terrifies me, but excites me at the same, because hopefully we don't turn into those people in the movie WALL-E. Do you remember WALL-E? That animated movie where humans, right? They left the earth, but humans just sat in this chair and became fat and just had the screen in front of them 24/7. That's a terrifying, terrifying thought. Hopefully we don't get to that. So make sure you eat your Wheaties and get into the gym and keep doing what you got to do to stay fit and healthy. Okay. Consumers praise the efficiency, but some complain that the loss of human interaction is going to be a big deal later on. Now, I'll tell you from my experience, in the financial services sector and the insurance industry, it'll be hard pressed if there's a moment when AI takes over that human interaction one-on-one with a person. You can do it now. There are places you can call and get insurance and get quotes, and it's AI driven, but it's it's emotionless. There's no emotional connection right there. If I have you on the phone, I can ask you questions to get to a very emotional place in your life that ultimately drives you to a place to want to protect your family and your future. A robot can't necessarily do that. A robot's good for just fixed data, right? Just data. But it can't pull on your heartstrings. It can't have that one-on-one connection. So the sales process may be a little lost right there. But we'll see what happens. All right, that's it for January. Let's talk about February 2024. Crypto rebounds. This is where we started to see crypto slowly take off. We were in a bear market for a long time. There's a bear and there's a bull. When you're in a bear market, things gradually decrease down. When you're in a bull market, things gradually increase up. So we weren't in a bull market at the time. We were in a bear market. We started to see Bitcoin take off. If you're a Bitcoin maximist, let me know in the chat. If you're into crypto, if you're not, again, to each his own. I love crypto, everything it stands for. I love the blockchain. I don't ever advise on it unless you're in my private group where you can have a one-on-one conversation with me, because there's too many dang scammers out there. People literally copying my pictures and videos and chatting with people, trying to be me, to send them money or to scam them on some type of crypto opportunity or Forex. Guys, don't fall for it. I'll never talk to you about crypto unless we are talking face-to-face or via my personal phone number or in my group chat or my private community. So Bitcoin crossed $85,000. Don't you wish you bought Bitcoin at $85,000? Now it's $107,000, $108,000, $109,000. Guys, just a few short years ago, Bitcoin was in the 30s. Before then, it was in the 20s. Then it was 10,000. It was 8,000. Guys, it was just under $100, a little more than a decade ago. Man, if you only would have kept that Bitcoin in the early days, you'd be very different position right now. And I'm speaking to the choir right here, because I had Bitcoin a long time ago. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think we'd be at $100,000 Bitcoin right now. But I will tell you this, some people are saying we could even be at $1 million Bitcoin in the future. I don't know when, 5, 10 years maybe. But there are projections that Bitcoin increases by 50% every year. And if you keep that going, do the math, 10 years down the road, we could be at $1 million Bitcoin. Just saying that. I'm not telling you to go out and buy anything. Don't go ahead and mortgage your home, sell a kidney or a kid. I've thought about it. Don't go ahead and do that. Bitcoin crossed $85,000. Ethereum hit $5,000, signaling a market recovery. That's where we went from a bear market into a bull market to start to go upwards. Market goes in cycles. It's never going to keep going up. It's always going to come back down and crash or correct. Institutional investors pour funds into crypto after regulatory clarity, especially for the XRP community. They realized that XRP was not a security. Okay, there was an SEC lawsuit that took years. They finally won that lawsuit. It's not considered a security, and that affects tax implications and stuff like that. So there's a lot to be said about that. We won't go too far into that right now. With that being said, it's always good to hold on to a little bit of crypto, but use your extra money, your play money. Right? Use your play money, stuff that's pocket change, dollar cost average, few bucks out of every paycheck. Be smart with it, because whatever you put into crypto, just know you could lose it in a heartbeat. And there's not too many regulations to prevent that from happening right now. Okay. Increased adoption in payment systems boost confidence. They're specifically talking about the XRP. XRP is going to be a crypto that's used for payment settlement. It's going to be like the SWIFT system. If you go to your bank, your credit union, and you want to wire money, well, the intermediary needs to have some type of something in order to take that money from one bank and to put it somewhere else. It needs to be attached to something. Okay. So the XRP is going to eventually take over all those systems. That's going to be a settlement system. So there's utility behind it, which means it's going to be very valuable. The government's going to use it. Private businesses are going to use it. You and I are going to use it when you want to Cash App people money or Venmo people money. XRP could potentially be used for that as well. There's a whole nother system in place right now that it's eventually could overtake and take its place. Okay. AI and medicine. So there's been some some big movement in the pharmaceutical world. AI tools for disease diagnosis have rapidly been adopted into hospitals nationwide. This was along the February timeline. Algorithms identify diseases like cancer earlier and more accurately than traditional methods. So obviously we know that AI is that's the future. AI is the future. I have my reserves about AI. Again, there needs to be some type of regulations there because AI could be crazy. It could be used for nefarious acts, and we don't want to go down that road. But it is used for some good right now. Just know if it's used for good, it could also be used for bad, right? But AI is a tool. AI itself is not necessarily evil unless it becomes symbiont, I believe is the word, where it kind of takes on its own personality and you can't control it, right? So that's where we don't want it to get. The algorithm identified diseases like cancer and Alzheimer's and all that type of stuff earlier. Concerns grow over data privacy and replacement of human experience, just like we talked about in January. And then Google faces an antitrust setback. Google's becoming too big, right? So there were some antitrust lawsuits that took place in February. Courts rejected Google's proposal for fixing Google's proposed fixes to their antitrust allegations regarding its search engine dominance. Obviously, we know Google's the number one player in search engine, the number one search engine in the entire world. And so they're worried that there's too much control there. So that was a thing. Small competitors demand stricter remedies, and then that could lead to some other smaller name search engines moving up the ranks. DuckDuckGo, Bing. There's a few other ones out there that are actually pretty good. I use DuckDuckGo a lot. It's a little more secure, a little safer. Google uses all your information, right? We already know that. Okay, March 2024. Congress, check this out. This is one of my favorite months. March 2024, Congress holds a UFO hearing. I said it, folks. Congress holds a UFO hearing. You hear what I'm saying, guys? Craziness. So Congress admits to UFOs, unidentified flying objects, but they actually changed the name. Forget what they changed the name to. UAO, unidentified aerial, UAP, I think it is, or something like that. I don't know. Let me know in the chat. But they actually changed the name for whatever reason. But Congress held a hearing for UFOs in March. Testimonies claim that there was a successful recovery of a non-human origin material. A non-human origin material, which means it does not come from our world, so to speak. It doesn't come from here. It came from outer space, somewhere else, okay? The Pentagon promises more transparency in future UFO investigations. Public interest spikes with calls for declassifying all the UFO-related data. Now, one thing I do know is in the Trump administration, they got some pro-alien UFO type of people working for them. Listen, the documents are going to be unsealed. Guys, be careful to wish for certain things to take place because you may not be happy once it takes place, right? It may cause something to take place within society that's really going to freak them out, okay? But hey, if the truth needs to be told, the truth needs to be told. Are we alone? Did God create something other than us, right? Because ultimately, my belief is that God created everything. If he created humans, he also created aliens. That's my belief, okay? God is the creator, intelligent creator. If he created me, he also created aliens. And then there's the question of potentially different races out there. Okay, where's my tinfoil hat? I don't have it with me right now, but guys, the Pentagon's talking about it, right? It's not just fringers. It's not just conspiracy theorists anymore. The federal government's talking about it, okay? So testimonies claim that they do have some non-human origin material. The Pentagon promises transparency. Public interest spikes to call for declassifying all UFO. Trump wants to declassify all that stuff. He knows. He was already in office as the president. He opened the black book. He saw everything from JFK assassination to whatever. It's all documented, and every president gets this little black book. Apparently, that's from what I hear and from what I've heard before from some high-ranking officials in Congress or in the government. Number 2, Federal Reserve pauses interest rate hikes in March. The Fed chair paused interest rate hikes and started to bring interest rates down. That was in February. Home buyers and businesses benefit from a stable borrowing costs. However, that's not going to last for long. Markets reacted positively with stock rising modestly, right? So we're seeing some changes now come into the new year. And then the TikTok ban. This all happened in March. TikTok ban took place, or the proposal for banning TikTok. It really started to heat up. Lawmakers intensified discussing the banning of TikTok, citing security risks. We already know TikTok's owned by ByteDance. ByteDance is owned by China. So the data that TikTok collects, and they collect everything. If you get paid from TikTok as a creator, they have your social security number, your birth date, your ID, your home address, your wherever. They have everything, including biometric data. If you use filters, they collect your biometric data. If your kid has ever put the phone in your face to put a filter on you, they have your data, right? China has it all, okay? So there's some security risks right there. They're talking about that. Lawmakers really discussed taking down TikTok, and actually they put a proposal January 19th, I think it is. Officially, TikTok will be banned in the United States, which means it'll still be active. It'll still be a social media platform, just you can't access it from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. And if it's on your phone, it will not get updates, which means inevitably down the line, it will stop working and it will crash because they're constantly updating it with different software and phone and technology. They have to update it. But if you don't update it, it's eventually going to crash. I wonder, though, when they took Flappy Birds out of the Apple App Store, I had a cell phone on eBay that was worth $10,000. It wasn't my personal cell phone, but there was a cell phone on eBay that was worth $10,000 because it had the game on there, because the game was no longer able to be accessed or downloaded. So anything that had that app was worth a lot of money. I tried selling mine, got up to like $1,000, but nobody ended up buying it. So I wonder if that's going to happen with TikTok as well. Let me know in the chats as well, guys. If you're with me, give me a thumbs up. Give me a hashtag live if you're watching the replay. Give me a hashtag replay. Let me know your thoughts as I'm going through this stuff. We're going to go into April. Apple unveils the affordable AR glasses priced at $99. Affordable, they say. Affordable. It's still $1,000. Apple's new AR glasses targeted mainstream media, not just high-income consumers. Or they targeted mainstream consumers, rather, not media, mainstream consumers. They featured real-time translation, AR gaming capability, augmented reality. That's what AR means. And then analysts predicted that AR adoption would skyrocket. This kind of happened when Facebook introduced the metaverse, which didn't pan out to do anything because nobody wanted to be an animated character in this fake universe. So that didn't end up being anything. So we'll see what happens with Apple over the next few months into 2025. The Cybertruck finally arrived. Cybertruck arrived in April. For some reason, it feels like the Cybertruck has been around for years because everywhere you turn, you see the dang Cybertruck. I think, personally, it looks like one of those old school garbage cans, right? Where you used to just flip the top and the top would flip. One of those metal, you know what I'm talking about. So Cybertruck came in April. Tesla begins delivery of its long-delayed Cybertruck. It was delayed for, I think, 2 years. Futuristic design divides the public opinion. I hate it. You may love it. Tesla faces production challenges with high demand. And then the housing market started to stabilize around April. Remember, the prices were going up. Housing market started to stabilize around April. Mortgage rates dropped to below 5%, encouraging more home purchases. The problem is the inventory was very low. The inventory is still very low in the market. If you're a realtor, mortgage professional, let me know in the chats if I'm correct in saying that. But the inventory is still not where it needs to be. But they're assuming that if rates drop more, people are going to want to buy, and hopefully people are going to want to sell and make a little money. We'll see what happens. Increased demand leads to modest price increase. When the interest goes down, traditionally the price of the houses go up. First-time buyers re-enter the market after a challenging 2023. All right, let's go into July. We did March, April. No, we got to go to May. All right, let's go to May. Gas prices spiked. Okay, OPEC production cuts pushed gas prices above $4.50. If you remember that, that really hurt the wallet. It was a pain in the butt. Go have to fill up $100 every time you fill up. Pain in the butt. Anything over $4 is a nightmare. If it's like under $4 and the $3.25, $3.50, it's kind of like you're used to it by now. When it hits $2, $2.50, you're like, woo, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be able to fill my gas tank for $40, right? I'm going to date myself a little bit. When I just got my license at 16, gas was right around $1. If gas was right around $1 for you, let me know what age you were. What age were you when gas was right around $1? Or when you first got your license, how much was gas? That's going to hurt even more. Some of you are going to say 50 cents, 75 cents. Biotech booms. Biotech boom continues. Ethical questions about genetic editing in humans. That was a big concern in May. Layoffs in tech. Huge layoffs took place in May. Amazon, Meta announced thousands and thousands of job layoffs amid the AI-driven automations. Workers protest, demanding regulation of corporate reliance on automation. They don't want their jobs to be taken over by AI. Critics warn a long-term impact on middle-class America. Okay, let's go to June 2024. NASA discovered water on Mars. That was a big one. Mars, eventually, Elon Musk wants to be able to inhabit Mars or be able to start bringing people to live there as opposed to just living here on Earth. So they want to create a living place on Mars. Who knows how long that's going to be? It may be 20, 30 years from now. Who knows? Elon Musk has a very short time period that he wants to do that, but his timing is always way off. He says one thing and it ends up being another thing. Okay. That was big though. Okay. SpaceX, which is owned by Musk, and then Blue Origin, which I believe is owned by Bezos, if I'm not mistaken, announced plans to incorporate findings into their Mars mission. And then scientists discuss the implications of microbial life on Mars, what that will do, how that will have an impact on us, especially when we're there. All right, let's go into June. Oh, we did June. Okay. Water on Mars. Trump proposes corporate tax cuts. Let's see. Aimed at incentivizing domestic investment in manufacturing, critics argue it could reduce federal revenue, worsening the deficit. We don't want to worsen the deficit. Okay, that's how much we're in debt and how much we owe. Supporters believe it will attract overseas companies to relocate. Okay, if you cut corporate taxes, that means you pay less here as a business, as a corporate entity. That would encourage corporations to come over here a little longer. Amazon automates warehouses. Go back to the AI. This is just pushing the needle a little forward. In June, robots replace 20% of all Amazon warehouse workers. We're at 20%, then it's going to be 50%, then it's going to be 75%, and then there's only going to be managers on the floor managing the robots. That's where it's going to be. Okay. Efficiency improves. So if efficiency improves, that's all good, right? When businesses can cut spending and increase their profits, business improves. You're going to do whatever it takes, which means if you got to fire 100,000 people, that's what you'll do in order to get robots in there. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Okay. Amazon pledges to retrain displaced workers for tech roles. Remember I said managers over the robots? We're going back to iRobot with Will Smith at this point. Okay. May, June, July. Let's go to July. Bitcoin breaks 100,000. Institutional investors drive demand, seeing Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. So they're pouring in money into Bitcoin at that point. Retail investors flock to crypto despite warnings of volatility. Crypto is very volatile, goes up and down, very low regulation in there. Be very careful. In the Midwest in July, there was a UFO sighting. So the government already said there's UFOs. Then there's UFO sightings in the Midwest. And now we'll talk about this in a couple minutes, but now there's UFOs all over the place. Drones. Okay. Then we got stimulus checks issued. Apparently there were stimulus checks issued at low to middle class families in July. I didn't get one, so I didn't really care about that. August 2024, biotech stocks skyrocket. Breakthroughs in cancer and Alzheimer's treatments lead to massive gains. Biotech ETFs that's in the market outperform broader markets, attracting new investors. Any company that is in the biotech sector, people were pouring money into because that was increasing in value. Analysts predict a decade of growth in personalized medicine. Smaller companies are starting to sell medicine. Okay, this is not so much of a monopoly now. Now you got Amazon has a healthcare. I think it's a healthcare line. Mark Cuban came out with some type of medication for individuals at a very, very low cost. So there's going to be a lot of people coming through that are going to take a piece of that pie, driving the price down, which is a good thing. Okay, electric vehicles incentivized. Yeah, electric vehicles incentivizes expand. There's new tax incentives for electric vehicles, up by $10,000. Demand surge for Tesla, Ford, and Rivian. I like those Rivian cars. Rivians are actually really nice. I would get a Rivian over a Tesla any day. Ford, maybe not so much. They got the Ford electric. Matter of fact, at the grocery store yesterday, I saw a guy putting all his groceries in the front hood, in the engine bay of his truck. It was an electric truck. And I didn't put two and two together. And then when I got out of the car, I asked him, did you just put all your groceries in the engine bay of your truck? And he got a cackle out of it. And he said, yeah, it's an electric vehicle. Cool. Massive cyber attack. So in August, if you don't remember, there was a massive cyber attack. Hackers exposed millions of Social Security numbers in a government data breach. Lawmakers call for urgent cybersecurity reform. Victims reported widespread identity theft leading to lawsuits. Identity theft sucks. If you have any indication that you are a victim of identity theft, lock your credit immediately. Lock your consumer report immediately so that you don't get taken advantage of. Okay, let's go to September. Student loan payments resume. Millions of borrowers face financial strain as repayments started. If you had a federal loan, they paused all payments for like 2 years. And now they're starting that payment up again. And Biden promised that he would waive all the student loans, or a lot of them. And that, I guess, that never ended up happening. Consumer spending declines. Impact in retail and services sector. GDP is getting a little wonky right there. Call for debt forgiveness gained traction among progressive lawmakers. Stock market volatility. Remember, the stock market went up in February of last year. Yeah, in January of this last year. Now the stock market's become more volatile. Rising interest rates and uncertain fiscal policies caused the market to go down. Okay. Neuralink from Elon Musk's company have major advances. This all happened in September. The brain chip company announced breakthroughs in treating paralysis. Human trials started and they show promising results, raising hope for revolutionary medical applications. But there are ethical concerns. I'm not so sure about this. I don't really want a chip going in my head. Some people say it's the mark of the beast. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that debate, but it sure feels like it, man. Chip in your head or chip in your palm. I'm just saying, okay? Let's go on. October, we're about to wrap this up, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. About 30 minutes in. I appreciate you sticking with me. We're doing our 2024 year in review. Let me know if you're with us, what city and state you represent, what your name is, and give me any news that you guys have as well. October, nationwide Amazon drones started. I have yet to see one. I saw Walmart drones. I used to get deliveries from Walmart when it was free. Now it's like $20 for delivery. Stupid. Not worth it. Okay. Go back to the free delivery and I'll order free delivery every time. Okay. Amazon started their drone delivery in October of this last year. Drones deliver packages within hours, transforming logistics. Here's what I don't want to happen. 1,000 drones in the sky delivering packages all at once. Come on, guys. That's unrealistic. Okay. That's a little crazy, but that's what's going to probably happen. Okay. Social Security reform proposal. Trump's plan to partially privatize Social Security faces bipartisan pushback. Proponents argue it will modernize the system, while critics warn there's a lot of risk. And then public protests erupt, demanding protection of retirement benefits. There's been a long debate that Social Security will end up diminishing or running out by 2034, I think the number is, but it's slowly inching up. It It speeds up every few years. They're saying 2038, then 2034, then 2030, 2028. It's going to keep creeping up on us because there's more money going out than there's more money being collected right now. Okay. AI reshapes education. There's a lot of AI-powered tutor being rolled out in public schools, addressing teacher shortages. AI-driven tutors. That's a little crazy. AI-powered tutors roll out in public schools. Education budget shifts towards tech infrastructure. Let's hit November. We're winding down. We're November. Trump wins the election. Like I said, love him, hate him, doesn't matter. This is not a political video, but he won the election by, can I just say this, a freaking landslide. By a landslide, guys. Secures a second term with the GOP control of the Congress. He swept it, guys. He swept it. All right. Campaign promises include future deregulation of focus on energy independence. He wants to become energy independent. Democrats vow to resist sweeping policy changes. We know how that turns out. It's just like two toddlers fighting with each other. Post-election markets rally. When Trump won the election, markets started to skyrocket again, which shows good for the upcoming year. 2025 could be a very good year. Traditionally, historically speaking, not my opinion, data proves that when a Republican takes office, the market tends to do a little better than when a Democrat takes office. Look at the data. Don't hate on me in the comments. Just go and look at the data. Look at some different information through your own research. Okay. UFO files released. Declassified documentation reveals decades of unexplained sightings. Public calls for increased research funding into extraterrestrial phenomenon. I have a feeling 4 years ago, one of the reasons Trump created Space Force was to start to unravel and dive in a little deeper into the whole extraterrestrial stuff that's going on. I have a feeling in this next administration, this next campaign, that the Space Force is going to be a very prevalent government entity in our country that's going to really do a lot of things and uncover things and declassify things and talk about things. Exciting times ahead. Exciting times ahead. I love this stuff. I love it. Little bit terrified of it, but I love it. I love learning about that stuff. So if you're a techie, alien, conspiracy guy, we can get along. And then let's get to the last month, guys. We're in the last month, December. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. AI transformed healthcare. More AI movements in December this year. Hospitals use AI for diagnosis, reducing waiting times and improving accuracy. Again, critics worry about over-reliance on the technology. That's where we get to that. Are they going to take over everything or just some of the things? SpaceX accelerated its Mars mission. Musk came out and said the mission is planned so that we can begin to inhabitate Mars by 2028. That's pretty crazy. 4 years, guys, 4 years until they send the first person to Mars. Would you do it? If they paid you $100,000, would you do it? Would you get sent to Mars and maybe never come back? Some people would. I don't know if I would do it, guys. I don't know if I would do it. NASA increases collaboration with SpaceX, so they're partnering together right now, prioritizing interplanetary exploration. Skeptics question the feasibility of this timeline. Again, Musk says it's 2028. It'll probably be 2030, 2032. Okay. Fusion energy breakthroughs. Private companies achieve sustained fusion reactors. This could be a game changer for the energy sector. Do your research. I can't get into it right now. Maybe in future videos I will, but fusion technology will change the world, guys. It will change the world. They've already attempted to have fusion engines in cars. There's already cars out there with fusion energy, fusion powered engines. Okay. It's a game changer for the future. So we'll see what happens there. It's definitely a clean energy move. Governments and investors pour funds into scaling this type of technology. So if any company out there that you're doing your research on and you see them playing with fusion energy or research or development of fusion energy, that's something to keep your eyes on and potentially even something to put a little bit of money in towards. This is not financial advice. Don't sue me. I'm just a guy on the internet. And then fusion is touted as a solution for global energy and climate changes. Guys, I appreciate you joining me for this year in review. I'm excited about the future. There is going to be some amazing things happening in 2025. It's going to be amazing. Guys, the future looks bright. I'm taking that saying from my old mentor, Patrick Bet-David. The future looks bright. I love it. The future does look bright for those who can see brightness in the future. Put it that way. I appreciate you following me, guys. I want to do a shameless plug for my Legacy Wealth Academy. If you like this information, I post regularly in Legacy Wealth Academy. It's $5 a month right now. When we hit 200 members, I'm going to increase it by double. It's going to be $10 a month and then slowly go up from there. We got about 135 people in there right now. We have a ball, lots of interaction, lots of engagement. 7-day free trial right now. I'll leave the link in the description of this video. Go ahead and join it. Cancel anytime. No long-term obligation. If you subscribe for the year, $48 for the entire year, it's a 20% discount. You get access to all my videos, my social media videos, my investment videos, my life insurance, cash value videos, how to build your own bank, how to become like the Rockefellers. All of my videos become released for those who subscribe to a annual subscription of $48 for the year. So that being said, guys, subscribe to my YouTube as a backup. I'm also on Rumble. I'm going to be slowly getting off of Facebook. They've throttled my posts. I get 4 or 5 to 10 likes. I got 900,000 followers on my personal profile, and they're just not giving me any reach. So I'm slowly transitioning away from there. I don't know what I'm going to do with that channel. If I start getting some movement again, I'll start posting regularly, but I'm going to start. I'm still on TikTok, Twitter. I'm on Threads. YouTube is going to be where I'm going to focus most of my energy in 2025. Long form and short form video. And they also have like a kind of like a feed like Instagram. So I can do community posts and images and write little notes. I'm going to just be all over it. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys. Guys, it's going to be freaking awesome in 2025. The motto for the year from the Casera family and Legacy Wealth Academy is divine favor, bigger and better. Bigger and better in all areas of life, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, all areas of life, bigger and better. I love you. I appreciate you. Thanks for being a part of this journey, and we'll see you in the next video. God bless.